Over the course of the United States, the American dream has been molded by the groups who embody values for change and freedom. In the early 1600s, Puritans ventured into the New World to leave religious oppression. In the late 1700s, American revolutionaries, inspired by Locke's philosophies, revolted against Britain for freedom and democracy. Transcendentalist thinkers in the mid-1800s strived to separate themselves from mainstream society and instead pursue individual spiritual enlightenment. Apart from these groups, with the introduction of new technology and access to new resources, America has continued to evolve. Up until the 21st century, although the American dream has changed in a variety of ways, fundamental aspects of it still remain, such as finding love, reaching lifelong dreams, keeping freedom, and obtaining financial security. Concerning 21st century Oxford students, their lives reveal different opinions on such parts of the American dream. Their upbringing, and what hardships or blessings they might have been rewarded with, foreshadows what they expect with the pursuit of the American dream. The interviewing of these Oxford students will reveal a bit more about their opinions.
You've got to find what you love, and that is as true for work as it is for your lovers. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking and don't settle.
My American dream starts off as an adaptation from the dream that my parents had when they migrated from Mexico some 20, 30 years back. They wanted to escape financial instability and find a brighter future here in America by taking advantage of the various opportunities provided. Well, since they faced a lot of hardships, in turn, I also had a lot of hardships in my upbringing. I cycled through a lot of elementary schools and a lot of homes because my parents struggled with rent or providing for the family. But all in all, I still managed to get accepted into Oxford Academy, and that opened a variety of windows for me. And it truly changed my focus of what the American dream should be. Ever since when I was a little child, and I would always get the ghetto toys instead of the real action figures. Well, I wanted a lot of money. That was my aim. I wanted to get so much money that I could buy cars for my family, pay them back for what they could give me. But as I cycled through high school, I realized that there are things a lot more important than myself. Just like my sister, or other people that are struggling because they don't have the same opportunities as first world country people do. So what I really want in the future is to, yes, get a lot of money, but to invest it not only in me, but in others that truly need it.
So coming to America, my parents didn't have much money. My dad was struggling to find a job, and my mom was still coming out of college, not knowing what to do with her life. We were in a pretty rough spot. But I was provided with the necessary materials to compete, learn, and just thrive around my other classmates in elementary school. And thanks to my parents' dedication and hard work, I was able to successfully test and go into Oxford, which may or may not be the biggest regret of my life. But besides that, thanks to my parents' hard work, I've been able to see how, even with little to nothing, there's a possibility to achieving your dreams. And whether or not you're in a good position economically or socially, it doesn't matter, because I know my parents were able to pull off what I thought was only to be in films. So the American dream to me is following my dreams and not necessarily going after that six-figure job. It's going after that dream and realizing that money doesn't always really matter. And overall, that's what the American dream would mean to me.
From 1960s to 1980s, there were a group of people known as the Vietnamese boat people, or the group of migrants that traveled from Vietnam all the way to America to seek one purpose: a new life, a new future, not just for themselves, but more importantly for their families. And part of those Vietnamese boat people was also my parents. And my parents not only migrated back in 1975, but more importantly was that they wanted to make a better future for me and for my siblings as well. But what's one thing I learned from them majorly is that they value money and hard work tremendously. And that's exactly why it also influences my interpretation of what the American dream was for me. They're under their influence and also with their determination and perseverance in me, I've learned that my American dream for myself is making a lot of money for myself. To clarify, my American dream is finding a career which is what I want, but more importantly is working hard and making a lot of money at the end of the day for not only for my family, but more importantly for myself. Not only my family has already again influenced me to the point where they believe that money is everything, but more importantly is that with money, you can also do a lot of other things, and you also have a lot more open doors for many other activities that you can participate in. And with that concludes my interpretation of what the American dream is.
What me and my classmates value says a lot about the American dream today for kids. For example, I know Americans in history value things like political freedom and religious freedom, but today me and my classmates seem to value more economic standpoint. So I know me personally, I really value stability, and I am trying to base everything that I'm doing and my future on stability, because I want to give my family like that good life where they don't have to worry about money or anything. Not necessarily be rich, but I think the just financial security is really important. And I think we take for granted the other aspects of the American dream, such as like safety and religious freedom, because I know people in other countries are focusing on that. And when people immigrate here, money is a big motivation, but it's not the only motivation. I know that from personal experience, like my parents, who did want money, but they also just wanted safety that the United States brings. And so I think the American dream really is, it tailors to people individually, and to most of us today, it's more about money. And so I think that we just need to just take into account other people and what their American dreams are and try to help them succeed, because I know that's part of my dream too, just to help everyone get to their goal in life, whether that be money or religious, political, safety, freedom. I just think we need to be conscious of that.
My American dream has been molded by the opportunities and relationships that I've had in my life. I've had a rough upbringing and money has always been tight for me. But overall, in my concept of the American dream, money isn't all that important in the long term. When I was a child, I did want to become very rich so I could provide for my family. But now I realize that what's more important is to provide for others, because I've only achieved success because of the support that others have given me. So to give back would be my greatest desire.
So ultimately, the American dream to me just means chasing your dreams and remembering that we only have one chance in life. And remembering that we weren't born to make money, we were born to chase our dreams and go after what we want to do in life. So ultimately, my parents have played a major factor in helping me remember what this American dream actually means to me.
My American dream has been heavily influenced by my parents' care towards my future. This meant that they not only invested a lot of time, but more importantly, spent a lot of money on me. And what I realized is that my American dream not only was focused primarily on money, but also primarily focused on helping my parents in the future. Because I realized that at the end of the day, when my parents consistently, unconditionally gave their love to me, they also reminded me that one thing that I need to help them back in the future is by providing them money.
I understand that my American dream is not comparative to someone who has not been given the opportunities that I have. My main worry for my future is making sure that I am financially stable and that way able to support my family. I've been blessed with rights in life. I don't have to worry about making sure that I keep my political and religious freedoms. I don't have to worry about my personal safety, because all these things I have never been denied. Most people my age are the same way. This speaks well about the way our country has treated us. We don't even have to dream about getting these freedoms anymore, but people in America's history did, and people in less fortunate locations still have to. We've come a long way as a nation.